Hey everybody, Doug here. You're joining me for a session of Sentinels of the Multiverse, and we're getting ready to do our next turn. So far, thematically, our heroes are fighting against an unknown adversary that is tampering with their equipment and causing terrible diversions all over the world. We finally got a clue, misplaced memo that looks like it's out of place. We're starting to see that there's something wrong. But our villain is Misinformation, who is our secretary at our superhero headquarters. And we are playing Expatriate, Wraith, Absolute Zero, and Raw against her, and you can see that on the iPad app. We are using the Sentinel Sidekick app to play, which is a lot of fun. And we're getting ready to do our next villain turn. So let's get started with that right now. So again, thanks for joining me, guys. This has been so far pretty fun, and I don't think I've missed much, but if I have, let me know. Now I'm going to tell you, because the sessions have been kind of short, I'm recording multiple ones at a time. So if I do need a correction, I may not get it in the next episode. It might be an episode or two later. But that said, I don't think I've made any big enough mistakes to worry about. I'm trying to keep track and take it one step at a time. Let's get on with the villain's turn. Okay, so what we're looking for first is start of villain turn. So on Misinformation, we know that we don't have the first part of her start of villain turn requirements, which is hero -1 clue cards. We have 1 clue card, so we need 2 more to come out. And then her next power is at the end of the turn. So now the ongoing clue, the misplaced memo, it says, at the start of the villain turn, each hero deals itself 2 psychic damage. Okay, well that's fine. It's going to be 1 damage because of the Atlantean throne room, which is reducing all damage dealt by 1. But it still means that we're taking a damage. So let's go to the app. Right here we're going to reduce Expatriate down to 26. Raw is actually down to 19. He's getting a little low. Hopefully we'll find a way to heal him. Wraith is down to 20. Wraith does have the ability to heal herself. She has a card that can do that. And Sub-Zero is down to 20. So that was the start of the villain start of the villain turn event that happened. Now we got to draw a card for the villain. So let's go back to Misinformation here and draw her next card. Okay, here we go. Another Reality's Debt. It's a one-shot. Each player must either discard their hand. What? This is terrible. God. Really? Each player must either discard their hand or destroy all their cards. I don't know what all of their cards. Oh my God. Okay. Well, okay. Wow, this one is a zinger. Wow, I wish we had a way. Their hand. Okay, hand isn't too bad. It means cards in play aren't going to be affected. All right. Well, let's do that. God, that's really rough, man. Wow. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to go to Expatriate here and show you what that actually means. So destroy. As I read it, destroy all their cards, and that means all of their cards. Or we can discard our hand. Now, either way, they end up in trash, but we would have to redo everything. I don't see the point in that. And we do have some good cards here, but it's okay. We're going to do that for each character. Now, I was going to use these sutures, but we're going to get rid of that too. Each hero has now discarded their hand. That means they have no cards to play at the beginning of their turn. So if we don't use any cards or any powers. Woo! Man, that's rough, guys. Wow. Okay. Now, that was the card for the villain draw. So I basically got rid of everybody's hands. They're gone. They've gone into their discard pile. They're trash. So we're going to get on now to the end of the villain event. So it says at the end of the villain turn, destroy X hero ongoing or equipment cards, where X equals the number of diversion cards in play. So the one bit of good news from this turn is we're not actually going to have any. We don't have any villain cards in play. So, I'm sorry, any diversion cards in play. So we're not going to have that problem. We're not going to take any damage from anybody. We're doing pretty good here. So now this is going to be a lightning quick turn, because really the best thing that we can do while we don't have anything to fight, I can't kill the filter spy that's in the environment because it says on the current misplaced memo that the non-hero target with the lowest hit points is immune to damage. Well, there's only one. So that's the agent. So that effectively has both the highest and the lowest hit points. We can't do damage to that card until some other card comes out with higher hit points, or a card comes out with lower hit points, and then we can do damage to that one. So let's get on with our turn. Hero turn. So we're going to start with Expatriate. Okay, here's Expatriate. I mean, she's a damage dealer. She really can't deal any damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to not use a power, or not not play a card and not use a power. We have no start of turn actions for her. So what that means is we're just simply going to draw 2 new cards. We got an RPG launcher. It says destroy 1 ongoing environment card. This is nice. Unfortunately, I have to wait till next turn. And then equipment ammo. It says liquid nitrogen rounds, which says, here we go guys, sorry. It says play the card next to a gun, change that card's damage type to cold. After that, the card's power is used to damage a target, reduce damage dealt by that target by 1 until the... Okay, yeah, so it's freezing them, causing them to not deal so much damage. Anyway, let's call that a day. We are that's her whole turn. So let's go on to Wraith. Now Wraith has her targeting computer, which increases projectile damage. She got rid of her stuff. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We don't have anybody to damage or fight right now. We can't. That crazy filter spy is immune to damage for the moment. So we're just going to draw 2 cards and call it a day. We got Improved Invention. It says draw a card and search your deck for an equipment card. You're going to get 2 cards. And then Inventory Barrage. Destroy all of your equipment cards and deal damage. So those are the 2 cards that she got for this turn. That's going to be the end of that. Now let's move on to Absolute Zero. Same boat here for Absolute Zero. There's really nothing. Let me just review this. I wonder if he can get rid of... there's really nothing he can do either. So I think the only one that we might be able to do something with this turn, maybe, and I mean maybe, I don't think he can do anything either, is Raw. But we're going to draw 2 cards for Absolute Zero. We've got Thermal Shockwave and Glacial Structure. So Glacial Structure is an ongoing card. Draw 3 cards and destroy this card. That's the power effect of it. So you play it and then you can use it as a power. Thermal Shockwave. It has a power. Absolute Zero deals up to 1 target, 1 cold damage each. Absolute Zero deals himself X fire damage, where X is the total amount of cold damage dealt. Okay, so that's, again, we got to get some stuff where he can heal. Unfortunately, that is also Absolute Zero's turn. Boom, just like that. Now let's move on to Raw. Now, it sure would be nice if we could get rid of an environment card or 2, but we can't. And Raw, as I look at it, Raw really can't do anything either. So we're kind of in the same boat. We're just going to skip actions. We're going to draw 2 cards. Okay. We got the same card, so I don't know how that sucked because I did shuffle it, but this happens. It's a one-shot. Summon staff. Search your deck for the staff of Raw and put it in your hand. Shuffle your deck. You may draw a card. You may play a card. So it's basically, we're going to get to do that next turn. That is actually going to end our hero turns. So we're going to go on to the environment. So like all turns, we're going to start the same way. We're going to look for start of environment turn cards, and we do or effects, and we do have one. At the start of the environment turn, each player may draw a card. If none do, destroy this card. That's the Atlantean Throne Room. Actually, I like that right now. I need to draw more cards because we had to get rid of our whole hand based on what happened with misinformation. So I'm just going to, here's Expatriate's card. She got another submachine gun. Not too bad. That'll be helpful. Wraith's card is a grappling hook. Destroy 1 ongoing environment card. You may draw a card. That's great. That's going to be a good one for next turn. Sub-Zero, we got the onboard module installation. You may draw a card. Search your deck for a module card and put it into your hand, shuffle your deck, and then play a card. That'll be very useful for us next turn because it'll allow me to go look for the thing I need for Absolute Zero to start really getting some major synergy. And then we're going to draw Raw's card here. Let's see, what is it? Fire Blast. It's a one-shot. Raw deals one target 5 fire damage. That's pretty good. And that is the start of environment turn effect. Now we're going to draw the environment card for this turn. Main computer room anomaly. This is a thing with hit points as well. At the end of the environment turn, play the top card of the villain deck. Ugh, that bites. We're going to have to get rid of this card. At the start of the environment turn, each player may draw a card. So again, we're getting more cards, but in this case, the villain's going to get an extra card play, and I don't know if I like that. However, it might help us get the clues out faster. So so that's the card draw. Now we go to the end of environment phase. Now we have two end of environment phase effects. We have at the end of the filter spy. Now I also need to put up let's do this first in order. Let's go over to the app. Now we're going to scroll. We're going to focus in on the environment right here. Okay. Now I'm going to scroll up just a little bit. I'm going to go like that, and we are looking for the main computer room, which has 9 hit points, and there it is. Now I'm also going to put a note on it because, like all things right now, it doesn't do damage, but I might as well just do it to be on the safe side, so I know I'm applying it. Now the heroes can destroy the filter spy because not the filter spy, but the main computer room, because it says the non-hero target with the lowest hit points is immune. The computer room is not. The spy still is. Okay, but anyway, we now have that card out. We're going to go back and continue with our end of phase effects for the environment. So now we do have okay, we got 2. So we'll do the first one. We'll do the computer room first, which is going to be to draw a villain card. It says at the end of the environment turn, each player. At the end of the environment turn, play the top top card of the villain deck. What doesn't kill you? This is an ongoing clue. So increase damage dealt by villain by 1. Okay, well the villain isn't doing any damage at the moment, so we're okay there. At the start of the villain turn, if there are no diversion cards in play, play the top card of the villain deck. Well, that's interesting. So there aren't any diversion cards in play. But let's put a note on misinformation here, and she's going to do +1 damage dealt for now until this card is gone, and that is now let me show you up here. It's now at the very top right there. You can see it at the top of her card, and that is going to conclude that effect. Now we have one more, which is the filter spy. So let's go back to the environment and take care of that. So the filter spy, it says at the end of the environment turn, this card deals the non-agent target with the second highest hit points. Now it says target, keep in mind. Hero -1 toxic damage, so 3 toxic damage. Now unfortunately there's nothing out there with more hit points than the heroes still. So that will be the second highest, which is a choice between Sub-Zero or Wraith. I think we're going to do Sub-Zero because again I'm going to be able to get Sub-Zero not taking so much damage. So we're going to reduce Sub-Zero by 2. Remember, the spy does 3 damage, but the environment is reducing all damage dealt by 1. So Sub-Zero took 2 damage and now has the least hit points. Okay, that ends the environment turn, and that's going to end our turn for this session. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.